G'day, it's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. Now, the Rupert Murdoch trained Anthony Klan, who runs the website The Klaxon, has been trying to rip off Robodebt victims, the lowest of the low. And it's straight out of the Rupert Murdoch playbook, trying to control the narrative of a topic or story, in this case, the Robodebt cover-up by the National Anti-Corruption Commission. And how they're trying to control the narrative is withholding reporting from their readers, key evidence, stealing content, and telling out-and-out lies. Now, I published an article on Thursday, the 12th of September 2024, titled Independent Journalists Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter running a scam with their dodgy reporting on the Knack Robodebt scandal. And I sent them questions a number of times and they're refusing to answer. Yeah, they demand people like the Knack and the inspector of the Knack answer their questions. They've actually written a couple of articles and published a couple of articles on it, and about them refusing to answer their questions, the Knack and inspector of the Knack. But when I put questions to them, they go to ground, refuse to answer, because they're being exposed, their scam's being exposed. So if you think independent media is independent media, well, it's starting to be infiltrated by Rupert Murdoch and News Corp, with Anthony Klan running the News Corp 101 routine of trying to control a narrative of a story to rip off people, confuse them by putting a lot of misinformation and false information out there. The article I wrote the other day is quite lengthy. I'm not going to cover it all. I'll just cover a small portion of it. But I'll probably end up doing a number of videos, maybe in a number of articles on this topic, because they don't seem to be going away, Anthony Klan at all. They're not confessing to their corruption or lies or deception. They're just going to ground, pretending it's not happening, which is what Rupert Murdoch does when he gets called out and exposed for his corruption. He just ignores it. Now, the article starts off, when the Knack confessed Commissioner Paul Brereton to The Guardian on the 15th of August 2024 had retained visibility of significant steps taken in relation to the Robodebt Royal Commission referrals and contributed his own views on some issues when requested or when he considered appropriate, the Knack Robodebt scandal was all over bar the shouting. The Knack admitting publicly that Commissioner Paul Brereton was still part of the decision-making process after the Knack issued a public statement in June 2024 saying that Brereton had in effect recused himself from the matter, made his position untenable because the recusal statement was clearly a lie and it was just a matter of a time before he is gone. Any police officer will tell you the best evidence is a confession, and the Knack admission is in effect a confession that Paul Brereton lied about recusing himself from the matter. Media reports since then have added value, some more than others, but that is about it. The so-called independent journalists Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter have tried to muscle in by lying, stealing, deceiving, trying to make out they are the big-time investigative journalists that have and are breaking the key evidence for the story. They are doing this after the horse has already bolted. This is an important article, not just for the Knack Robodebt scandal, but also because it shines a light on new media and how at least some journalists in some aspects of new media are no better than the old media we complain about. Anthony Klan publishes on his own website, The Klaxon, and sometimes has his own articles republished on other websites. Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter work as freelance journalists, from what I can tell, and have their work published on numerous websites, including The Klaxon. All three have worked closely on the Knack Robodebt scandal. The dodgiest part of their scheme is what they haven't been reporting, not what they have been reporting, although that is dodgy as well. And their biggest mistake was to stalk my website and YouTube channel for ideas and steal my content, because that put them on my radar. How the scam works. The scheme is fairly simple, and it is to put themselves at the front and centre of reporting on the Knack Robodebt scheme. They have done this by first knocking off my extensive specialised work on the Knack and the Knack Robodebt scandal, and also by ignoring the Knack's admissions about Commissioner Paul Brereton to The Guardian on the 15th of August 2024. The bottom line is they failed to report key evidence because it would expose their lies of breaking the stories they claim are exclusives. They stalk my website for content, steal content off myself and probably others, and then they promote their exclusives while asking for donations. Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter are potentially putting at risk Robodebt victims getting justice and or the Robodebt 6 being held to account, and they undermine journalists such as myself trying to set justice right by reporting all the facts. Their manipulated news also aids the government the Knack and Robodebt 6 by blurring the issues. Anthony Klan has continued to promote one of his articles, even though he knows it's full of lies. And in one instance, Klan has verbaled the New South Wales ICAC Commissioner, John Herziges, and then Klan asked for donations off the back of the articles, stealing content from Kangaroo Court of Australia. Anthony Klan, Michelle Fahey and Elizabeth Minter taking content without giving credit is only a minor issue for this article. But it is important to take a close look, as it is powerful circumstantial evidence that supports the fact of them trying to hijack the reporting on the matter for their own self-promotion and greed. This website is a judicial corruption and political corruption website, so it should be no surprise I've followed and reported the National Anti-Corruption Commission very closely, and I've published some very specific and specialised articles and videos on the matter. Because a lot of my articles, but certainly not all, are specific and specialised, when another journalist rips off articles, it is very obvious. It has happened at least a few times a year since I started publishing in January 2011. When journalists publish articles, they want other journalists to pick up on their stories because it helps promote their work. And the standard rule is the journalist writing an article based on the original journalist's work will give credit and link back to the original article, sending traffic and readers there. But when journalists take work from a website and don't give accreditation, they are stealing, and they do that for a number of reasons. In this situation, they are stealing work because it is a breaking story with a lot of interest, and if they gave credit, as they should, and reported all the facts, it would be obvious they are not the hero investigative journalists they are trying to make out they are, and it would undermine their very heavy push for donations. The bottom line is they're committing financial fraud and theft. Who are Anthony Klan, Michelle Fahey and Elizabeth Minter? I never knew who Anthony Klan was until he set up a website. In 2020, I contacted Klan on Twitter messages and I asked if I could use one of his tweets in one of my books. He said yes, and he has given credit in the book. Klan's LinkedIn profile says he worked for News Corp's Australian for 14 years from 2005 to 2019 and started the Klaxon website in June 2020. He says on his website the Klaxon is a completely independent Australian news outlet specialising in exposing business wrongdoing and government corruption. We shine a light on the systemic and structural improprieties currently flourishing within the collective blind spots of much of the general media. The Klaxon is 100% owned and operated by multi-award-winning investigative journalist Anthony Klan, whose work has sparked numerous inquiries and law reforms. Klan holds Australia's top journalism award, a Walkley Award, for business journalism, and being named as a finalist in the Graham Perkin Journalist of the Year award. He is a recipient of News Corporation's top award and 3 times named News Corporation Australian Business Journalist of the Year. I don't recall coming across Michelle Fahey or Elizabeth Minter or their work before the last few weeks, but possibly have, as they've been journalists for quite a while. Articles that Anthony Klan, Michelle Fahey and Elizabeth Minter have lifted from this website without accreditation. Now, I'm only going to cover 2 articles. There's other articles up to, I think, 10 or 11 in the article, my main article, but I'll only cover 2 now because otherwise it's quite lengthy. But you can click on the link I'll put below this video on YouTube and you can go to the article and you can see all the articles they've published on the issue and the ones they've ripped off as well. Article 1. This article is the first time I became aware that the Klaxon had copied any work from my website. The Knack released a statement on Thursday, the 6th of June 2024, saying they would not investigate the 6 referrals from the Robodebt Royal Commission. On the 8th of June 2024, 2 days after the Knack announced they would not investigate the Robodebt 6, Anthony Klan stole one of my stories that I published in 2 articles. Klan published his own article, obviously trying to cash in on the Knack Robodebt scandal that was all over the media. It was a very specialised article, the story I broke on the 9th of October 2022, titled Attorney General Mark Dreyfus cooks the books to justify secret hearings at the National Anti-Corruption Commission, a video you won't see at a federal ICAC. I followed up on the 19th of October 2022 with an article titled New South Wales ICAC Commissioner John Herziges exposes the lie being told by the Federal Attorney General Mark Dreyfus to justify secret hearings. On the 8th of June 2024, Anthony Klan published an article titled Knackered, How Dreyfus Fudged the Figures to Deliver a Secret Regulator, which is a straight-out rip-off for my articles, and the title is basically the same as the first article I published, and Klan gave no credit. Klan later claimed he had not read my articles before he wrote his article. So how did Klan come across all the information in his article 18 months after I broke the story, when no other media wrote about some of the key details in the article except me? Klan also butchered his article because he didn't understand it and misquoted various key parts and key facts. Klan even verbaled the New South Wales ICAC Commissioner, John Herziges, as per the below screenshot, which says Herziges told a parliamentary inquiry the figure was far higher, with just over 40% of ICAC's hearings conducted in public in 2020 to 21. That's a lie. New South Wales ICAC Commissioner John Herziges never said that. John Herziges made it very clear that the New South Wales ICAC have 100% of their hearings in public, which I previously reported in October 2022 in the two articles linked above. The articles 2 to 9 are in my article, which I covered, which you can click on the link and go read them. Now, Article 10, on the 9th of September 2024, Anthony Klan, Elizabeth Minter published an article on the Klaxon titled Brereton's Robodebt Recusal Claims a Sham, Top Ex-Judge. It is basically a rip-off of the article I published on the 5th of September 2024 titled Knack says Commissioner Paul Brereton didn't break the law and stands by his recusal claim regarding Robodebt. The article is a mash of an opinion piece that Stephen Charles KC wrote for John Menadew's website Pearls and Irritations in my article. But if you take my article out, that doesn't leave much of an article, as Stephen Charles KC has already commented for their articles a couple of times before. Stephen Charles KC comments on the questions and answers I sent to and received from the Knack that I published in my article. Anthony Klan and Elizabeth Minter quote my article and reference it for a change instead of just stealing it. But they had no choice, as they were obviously short on content. And if they wanted to reference and copy Steve Charles' KC opinion piece, they really had to copy the Knack answers from my website. Ironically, after I started this article, and after almost 2 months, Anthony Klan and Elizabeth Minter reported the Guardian's key evidence from the 15th of August 2024 that Commissioner Paul Brereton had retained visibility of significant steps taken in relation to the Robodebt Royal Commission referrals and contributed his own views on some issues when requested or when he considered appropriate. They didn't mention the Guardian in a blatant, sneaky attempt to take credit themselves, although they did link it back to the Guardian. I know for a fact, after running this website for 13 years, that most readers would not have clicked on the link. Stealing content. Journalists stealing content from other journalists is nothing new, and it's something all journalists have to deal with. But it's a whole new ball game to stalk someone's website and YouTube channel for months, knocking off content and ideas and paying not much more than lip service to referencing their material. And then also using the stolen content to help run a scam, ripping off readers with lies, deception and deceit. Not everything they write is lies and stolen work, and some of it adds value and is worth reporting. But it only adds value because, as I've already said, it was all over bar the shouting when the Guardian reported admissions by the Knack. But Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter have taken it to a new level, and the content theft is the minor part of the problem. The major issues are the false and fake information they've been publishing, the withholding of key facts in an attempt to control the narrative, to make themselves look like the hero journalists, and they couldn't care less who they hurt. With the Knack, thousands of people are trying to get justice for many issues. For Robodebt, hundreds of thousands want justice and people held to account. But when journalists report false and fake information and out-and-out lies, they blur the issues, which is what the people trying to avoid accountability want. So, at the end of the day, Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter are helping the Robodebt 6, Commissioner Paul Brereton, and others the Knack should investigate by blurring the truth. Closing arguments. How much credit Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter should have given me in some of the articles is debatable. For some articles, it is not debatable, and they ripped off my content by failing to give full credit. Also, their lies, deception and deceit is not debatable. It should not have happened. Almost all independent journalists struggle financially, but resorting to the conduct of Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter is not the answer. And they needed to be called out to try and make sure it doesn't continue and doesn't happen again. I have to wonder if they've done similar things before. We call out the old media for dodgy conduct every day, and we have to do the same for new media and independent journalists. Otherwise, we are no better than the old media. We've gone from the Robodebt scam to the Knack Robodebt cover-up scam to the Knack Robodebt cover-up journalist reporting scam. Any media who are reporting the issue and failing to put the Knack's admissions made to the Guardian front and centre, if they know about it, are really only putting out puff pieces and aiding and abetting the scam being run by Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay and Elizabeth Minter. I say in the article, some of the questions I will send Anthony Klan, Michelle Fay, Elizabeth Minter, and see if they respond. And I'll put those questions up on screen now. And like I said at the beginning, I've sent it to them a couple of times and they haven't responded at the moment. Question 1, why have you not reported key evidence until the 9th of September 2024, which are admissions made by the Knack that Commissioner Paul Brereton retained visibility of significant steps taken in relation to the matter and contributed his own views on some issues when requested or when he considered appropriate regarding the Knack Robodebt referrals from the Royal Commission. Question 2, why have you deliberately deceived your readers by failing to report the key evidence for almost 2 months as per question 1? Question 3, why have you continued to promote an article that you copied from my website titled Knackered, How Dreyfus Fudged the Figures to Deliver a Secret Regulator, when you know it has false information lies and government lies in it? And why did you verbal New South Wales ICAC Commissioner John Hertzogis in the article? Question 4, where's the article that you promised publishing on the 2nd of September saying, will Attorney General Mark Dreyfus continue to back Paul Brereton to run the ALP's signature Knack? Find out tomorrow and ask for donations for it. End of questions. Other websites such as John Menahue's website, Pearls and Irritations, Michael West Media and Independent Australia have also published 1 or 2 of the same articles that were published on the Klaxon as per above. I make no allegation against them and I don't suspect them of any wrongdoing, but they should consider reviewing what I've written above. A lot of high-profile people on Twitter and likely other social media have also been promoting Anthony Klan's, Michael Fay's and Elizabeth Minter's so-called journalistic work as per the article. I wonder what they'll do and say now. Now, I'll put a link for that article below this video on YouTube so you can click on that and read the full article. It's a lot longer than what I just read out then, and so it's got a lot more information. The more I've thought about it, the more Anthony Klan running the Rupert Murdoch News Corp scam straight out of their playbook, trying to control the narrative. Say, for example, Brittany Higgins' rape at Parliament House. They've been attacking her, defending Bruce Lerman, trying to control the native, defend the Liberal Party, trying to make out Senator Linda Reynolds as a real victim, etc., etc. All lies, but any story, News Corp trying to control the narrative, compound a lot of lies and deception and deceit, and a whole heap of different topics. And that's how they control the narrative, trying to get what they want. And Anthony Klan, who spent 14 years at News Corp at the Australian from 2005 to 2019, he's doing the same thing here, trying to control the narrative, trying to manipulate it for his own benefit. You have to wonder if he's still on News Corp's payroll. There's nothing Rupert Murdoch and News Corp would like better than having a so-called independent journalist aiding and abetting them and their agenda. Anyhow, like I said at the beginning, I'll probably end up doing another video or 2 and maybe another article or 2 on this matter. And please hit the like and subscribe button and please share this video on social media. In Kangaroo Court of Australia's independent media, I publish a website and a YouTube channel, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself, so please support my Patreon account or PayPal account. I currently have 464 Patreon supporters. I estimate I need to get to 600 supporters to be financially viable, so please support that. You can donate any amount, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever suits your budget. It all helps out in a big way. And the link for the Patreon account and PayPal account will be below this video on YouTube and also on my website. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.